killing that I done, well, I'll surely go to hell. Well, I am a rebel soldier, no, I'm not afraid to fight. The lives of the innocent and all my sons.
They too regard Palestine as their rightful home. But with the end of the war, into Palestine ports came ship after ship crammed with illegal immigrants. Refugees from recent persecution in Germany, Austria, Poland, Belsen and Dachau. The Arabs, fearful of becoming a minority, persuaded the British to limit Jewish immigration. Jewish extremists attacked British troops, wrecked government buildings, blew up trains and ships. And so Palestine remains, a place of martial law, where all go their ways only under watch, where the innocent must suffer with the guilty.
So I gave the order. Before entering a house, throw a couple of grenades inside. They threw a grenade into one house. 28 were killed.
It was impossible to attack the enemy without hurting their families. It was difficult. It was painful, and I'm sorry we had to do it. But we had no choice.
Going on, Jews came from the next village. Most of them were religious, by the way. They started yelling, "Bastards! Murderers! What are you doing?" Some shouted in Hebrew, others in Yiddish. They stopped the massacre.
In the next few months, over half the Arab population, 750,000 people, fled their homes in Palestine. Israel never allowed them back.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it? I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
We pull people out, and we have them all on the knees and zip tied, and we'll ask the guy questions, the whole family, the man of the house questions. And if he didn't answer the way we would like to, we'll shoot his youngest kid, and we'll keep going, because we're just with our interrogation. He could be innocent, because he could be an average Joe who's trying to support his family. And if he didn't give us a satisfactory answer, it's like killing off his family until we told us something. He didn't know anything. I guess he was there.
Well, I am a rebel soldier, no, I'm not afraid to die. You may hang me in the morning, but I'll haunt you in the night.
Is a living hell, trapped inside this fragile shell with every lie you've told. Paralyzed, so cold, I run them all.
Welcome to Pallywood. Pallywood is a bustling industry of alfresco cinema. Stage news filmed in real time against the backdrop of a complex conflict we all think we know. It has directors, makeup men, sets, extras, often plain dead or injured, props, especially ambulances, plenty of cameramen, and sometimes large audiences.
You know that if you beat them and shoot them and do whatever you want to them, they won't stop. We train and to fight against the other soldiers. Now we fight against the people.
Iran, and he intends to build nuclear weapons, and his brazen declarations against the Jews in America have been carried on the front pages of America's newspapers. Ladies and gentlemen, we must demonstrate courage. We must demonstrate intellectual honesty. We must demonstrate the willingness to stand up and to speak out. We must act now to stop Iran before the maniacal dream of exterminating the Jewish people becomes a nuclear holocaust. And I am hopeful that the American government will have the courage to help Israel in its day of adversity against tyrants.
But the big news today is out of the Middle East. There's a report from the London Sunday Times that says that Israeli pilots are training to strike at large nuclear facilities in Iran with small bunker buster nukes of their own. Now, as you know, Iran has really made no secret that it wants to wipe Israel off of.
The occupation regime over Jerusalem must be erased from the pages of time. And how does he advocate that regime being erased from the pages of time? Maniac. It's nutball. Actually believes in
Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili, who has already called on the United States to intervene. As an American citizen, do you want Washington to step in?
I urge every American who may be watching this broadcast right now to call their senators, their congressmen, the White House, and tell George Bush to get out. America does not need to intervene in this war. America needs to stop supporting Georgia. What Saakashvili is doing is no better than what Saddam Hussein did. And if George Bush is supporting that, like he's supporting Georgia, he's no better than Saddam Hussein.
Now, very... among American politicians, as well as some media here. The main question is, if this happened in Europe, what is the fault of the Palestinian people? This is the problem we have today, the root cause of many of our problems, not what happened 60 years ago. The Palestinian people, their lives are being destroyed today under the pretext of the Holocaust. Their lands have been occupied. Usurped. What is their fault? What are they to be blamed for? Are they not human beings? Do they have no rights? What role did they play in the Holocaust? Some tend to sort of change the subject of it. From the first day I said, well, assuming that the Holocaust happened, then again, what does it have to do with the Palestinian people? Not at all. Nothing. Believe me, Palestinian people are human beings. They have feelings. They like to live in their own lands. To have the right to self-determination. To feel secure in their homes.